That's Canada. That's Canada right there.
Hi, I'm Kristen and you're watching Travels and Travails. Today I'm going to show you the Olympic Peninsula. We begin our journey at the Olympic Peninsula camping at Squim Bay State Park. Squim Bay State Park is a 92-acre Marine Bay State camping park with 4,909 feet of saltwater coast. Located in the Squim rain shadow, just inside the Puget Sound on the Olympic Peninsula. The park is outside of Squim, which is about 20 miles from Port Angeles. While we waited for our site to become unoccupied, we headed over to the Oak Table restaurant. They have a fantastic breakfast menu and a variety of mimosas. I had the quiche and the lavender mimosa, which was exceptional. The next morning we started off at Hurricane Coffee Shop. After that, we headed out to hike the plane crash site on Tubal Cain Trail. Tubal Cain Trail is an 8.6 mile out and back trail that'll lead you to the Tubal Cain mine and also the aforementioned plane crash site. This B-17 plane crash site occurred in 1952 during a rescue mission that was thwarted by poor weather conditions.
We found one of the engines. We made it to the second mine.
We headed out to Neah Bay.
It's a beautiful day out here today.
At the very northwest tip of the continental United States rests the lovely Neah Bay.
So Neah Bay is right behind me.
Flanked by the Pacific Ocean and the Strait of Juan de Fuca, Neah Bay is the home of the Makah Tribe. Since time immemorial, the Makah Tribe has called Neah Bay home. Makah was the name given to them by the neighboring tribes, and it means people generous with food in the Salish language. The rich cultural heritage of Neah Bay is evidenced by the Makah Cultural Research Center, which includes the museum.
We're at the Makah Museum. There's no photography allowed inside.
Famished by our travels, we stopped at Calvin's Crab House for lunch.
Calvin's Crab House is supposed to be the best place to eat around here, and it's literally like a little shack built onto somebody's house.
Sadly, crab wasn't in season at that time. After lunch, we headed to the Cape Flattery Trail. Located on the furthest northwest corner of the contiguous United States, the Cape Flattery Trail leads to a surprisingly short hike with alluring views.
The trail's only about 3/4 of a mile. Watch your step.
Four observation decks that line the trail access glimpses to the rugged coast, which includes an outstanding view of Tatawish Island.
Cape Flattery is the most northwestern portion of the contiguous United States.
While you're there, watch for gray whales off the Cape and sea lions on Snake Rock. When visiting Cape Flattery, a parking permit is required and can be purchased from the Makah Tribe at Washburn's General Store, the Makah Museum, and other locations in Neah Bay.
We're at the Makah Museum. This is where you get your pass to the trail.
The permit is good for a year and can be used at Shishi Beach as well. Shopping at the tiny general store, we found the residents to be very welcoming. After that, we headed to Duc Hot Springs. Duc Hot Springs is located in the Duc Resort inside the Olympic National Park. The pools were quite crowded for a weekday. In addition to the hot pools, there's a full-size swimming pool with cool water and a kiddie pool.
This one's cold. I think this one's the hottest one.
The water was nice, but the hot spring infrastructure was not well kept. Doug noticed that when he walked in the men's room, he immediately smelled urine because the urinals were right by the door as he walked in. We ended up paying $15 per person just to enter the park and $15 each for the hot springs. So that's a total of $60, which seems fairly pricey to me.
One of the things that we hadn't anticipated was that we had to pay $30 to get into the Olympic National Park. Keep that in mind. It's $15 per person to get into the hot springs, $30 just to enter the park.
With the hot springs not being that outstanding, I would go again if we had stayed inside the Olympic National Park. Otherwise, I'd probably just skip it. If you stay at the resort, the entry fee for the pool is included. If you go, consider making an appointment for a massage, as the masseuse is right there on site.
Make your massage appointment at the front desk.
After relaxing in the hot water at Duc Hot Springs, we headed over to Lake Crescent Lodge for our anniversary dinner. Let me just say that when I saw the Yelp reviews, I was not impressed. Doug actually had to talk me into going. I said, let's go somewhere else, somewhere that has some better Yelp reviews, but he insisted and he just drove there. Doug said we should at least check it out because he'd actually already been there. I was impressed. This elegant lodge, visited by Franklin D. Roosevelt, was built in 1915. It has all the charm of a 1915 lodge. The giant stone fireplace and antique furnishings. At the end of the room was a wooden bar. Not wanting to commit to dinner, I suggested that we have drinks on the screened porch. It had a magnificent view that overlooks the lake. I enjoyed the view so much that dinner seemed like a natural decision. The food was pricey, but it was better than I expected. And the views of the lake were phenomenal. After dinner, we enjoyed hanging out at the beach and watching the sunset.
It is so peaceful here at Lake Crescent. Bring your fishing pole because the fish are jumping out of the water right now.
Hey, to continue the adventure, check out our next video.